Maybe not. So I just got off the phone with my grandma the other day, and at the end of the call she said, "I love you." And I had to think about this for a second. Do I love my grandma? I mean, we've really only ever talked about surface level subjects, and love is such a complicated thing. I mean, I like my grandma. I'm not like attracted to her. But I think she was like pretty hot in the 30s. I'm a pretty confident guy, I think, right? I'm not usually self-conscious about my physical appearance, which is something someone who's self-conscious about their physical appearance would say. So I'm going bald, guys, and I'm not okay with it. I'm constantly talking about it with my friends. You can, I mean, look, see it, right? All right, thank you. So in the front and in the back here, it's just starting to thin, and I don't know exactly what I'd look like when I'm bald, but I think it'd be like a shorter, like Jewier Louis C.K. My brother just turned 26, and he is completely bald. And I looked at pictures of him when he was 21, and he looked just like me. His hair started to thin in the front and a little bit in the back. And so the other day I said to him, "I see a lot of you and me." And he was flattered, and I'm just disgusted at what I'll become. I don't trust bald people. I think as someone with a full head of hair has a lot more credibility than someone who's bald. Yeah, whenever I see someone who's bald, I just kind of look at them and say, like, what went wrong? What mistakes did you make? Take Evil Villains, for example. I mean, you got Skeletor, he's bald, or a skeleton. You got Humpty Dumpty, yeah, he's not a villain, he's just a fucking idiot. You got Michael Jordan, all these villains, it's crazy. And you know, I thought about, what do I need to do to change my appearance to compensate for the fact that I'd be bald, and like I could grow a beard, and like that would just cover up the fact that like, yeah, I can still grow hair, or like I could shave my head and then like polish it, and then it'd be like, yeah, I'm like super comfortable with it, or I could just like not do anything and leave it, and then I'd be like, oh, it's what it is. But then the other option is that I could have one of those hair transplants, which are really expensive, but you know, like, my thinning hair already kind of looks like pubes, so the perfect alternative, ready to go, just as long, same color. Were you wondering? Don't see me after the show. Don't see me after the show. I took a nap earlier today, and when I woke up, I was just like, drenched in sweat. I don't know if that ever happens to you, but it was like I was either like wrestling someone for like 6 hours or having sex for like 1 minute. So I last a long time. I made a joke to appeal to you guys. That's not a common thing to talk about. People always say, oh, that's short. That lasts too long. We're done with that. And I love dreaming. I love that moment when you wake up and you still kind of have those emotions from the dream. And sometimes they're really happy, right? You feel like the vivaciousness and you feel the energy, and you just like, you want to hold on to that for a long time. And you know, sometimes it's really sad, and you know, you have to take a few, like I take a few hours sometimes when I wake up, and you know, you reflect on what happened in the dream. And so the other week I had this dream where I was coming home from college, and I went into the kitchen and I saw my dad, and my dad passed away when I was 12. And my dad was there. And I said, Dad, what are you doing here? And he said, I came back. And we both cried, and I hugged him, and we just talked for the rest of the dream. And then the next night, I had a dream where I jerked off on my math teacher. I'll never forget it. That's me. I had another really crazy dream. I was visiting my girlfriend And she had woken up for the morning, but I decided to go back to sleep for a little bit. And I think that's when you have the most vivid dreams. During that little period when you go back to sleep, you like fall right back into REM, or at least I do. So in my dream, I was in the refrigerated aisle of a supermarket, right? And I grab a half gallon of milk and a box of strawberry Pop-Tarts, even though I got brown sugar cinnamon. Look at the hollers. I've been waiting for that brown sugar cinnamon joke for so long. Now they're like, yeah, I agree. So I have my milk and my Pop-Tarts, and I look behind me, I notice that all the lights are off. And I go, oh, the supermarket's closed. And so like a gentleman, I put the things back. And then I'm on my way out and I hear some footsteps on the aisle like opposite me. And I'm like, oh, it's a homeless guy seeking refuge for the night. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna scare him. So he's walking down his aisle and I'm walking down my aisle, and then I get to the end and he gets to the end and I jump out and go, ooh, and he just goes, man, fuck this shit. And then I immediately wake up and I see my girlfriend staring down at me saying, why were you screaming? And I realized I did not just say, ooh, in my dream. I just want you to picture it from her perspective, just me sleeping and then, ooh. I tried to explain my dream and just like tell her, oh, yeah, it was fucking a homeless guy. Like, I was spooking. And then she just goes, I thought you were dying. And that's it. Thank you guys.